My sisters and brothers, I greet you all with the love and peace of the Lord. I invite you to meditate together with me on the holy word of God of 4th September 2022, the 23rd Ordinary Sunday. The trust to be a disciple is to be disciplined. The indicative of our reflection, today we have many disciples who even forget that they are disciples and not the master. They behave like masters and so fail to be true disciples. Once again, Jesus clarifies who is a true disciple and how to become one. The highest priority to God is the fundamental and indispensable identity mark of a true disciple. God is the highest concern and no one and nothing else. Not even one's own family members like father, mother, brothers and sisters can become more important than God. See how Jesus declares, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and brothers and sisters, wife and children, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple." Let us get straight into the mind of Jesus behind this statement. Jesus is quite aware of the challenge of following him and the possible hindrances that come in the way of following him. Therefore, he proposes some radical conditions that go directly contrary to these hindrances. Among these hindrances comes primarily one's excessive attachment to one's own family. It is not wrong to love them, to feel concerned for them, and to have a deep bonding with them. But the point is, at no point the love for family comes in the way of love for God. At no point the concern for the family should deviate us from the concerns of God. At no point, attachment to the family must reduce our attachment to God. And at no point, the bonding with the natural family should diminish our bonding and duty toward the spiritual family. It is in this sense that our love for God must be profound, unequivocal, and undivided. We must be ready even to hate the family if it endangers our love for God. Another serious obstacle in following Jesus is the self. Jesus demands hate even one's own self. This is a clear summon to get rid of our false self, the ego. When life becomes egoistic, self-centered, self-interested, self-seeking, and self-serving, God is no more the priority. For God is dethroned and self is enthroned. In the light of the first reading from Wisdom, it is nothing but the situation where the perishable body weighs down the soul and this earthly tent burdens the mind full of thoughts. Another condition to follow Jesus as a good disciple is to bear one's own cross. In one sense, it may refer to our own fragilities and imperfections. In reference to the first reading, it means to be aware that the reasoning of the mortals is worthless and our designs are likely to fail. This awareness and admission are very important. Otherwise, one can easily slip into a sense of self-sufficiency, self-complacency, and self-righteousness. Another essential aspect of bearing the cross is to pursue and persevere in the path of the values of Christ, bearing the subsequent sufferings and adversities. A true follower of Christ is bound to face opposition and problems. The simplest reason is his life will be a contrast to that of the world, but he shall not fear or deter from his path. A third aspect of bearing the cross is the spirit of patience and forbearance to accept the sufferings in life. We come across many situations in life that are unpleasant and unfavorable, like death, separation, misunderstanding, strife, loss, failure, and defeat. And many times we may wonder why these things happen to us. We may question, is this the reward for our fidelity? In such times of the cross, persevere. A further condition for discipleship is discernment that is clear about the cost of discipleship and perseveres to the end. Jesus conveys this through two metaphors, namely building a tower and going for a battle. Obviously, they indicate a spirit of prudence. In social or pastoral terms, it is to know the context, become familiar with the situations, and be well prepared and well equipped. All these factors may be okay, but more than all these, what these two metaphors denote is to be aware that discipleship is not an easy task. Therefore, be wise and diligent to face any situation and keep focused on our target, be it a battle situation or a building situation. And now the imperative for our life, let us learn humility and wisdom so that we are unattached, persevering totally focused and committed to being true disciples.